This was recorded at the Media Joint.
Ooh, Peking Duk album coming. Ooh
Shut
la la.
up. New music.
Yeah.
Been a minute, doll.
It's been a minute. Diplo loves sex buddies. Oh my god, taste sex.
So I've
Dildos are in. I mean, it's a bit rogue, I guess. Yeah.
That is so rogue.
Boy, that's a bit rogue.
Is it even that rogue?
Welcome back to another episode of A Bit Rogue with Skye and Tori. How you doing, Skye?
I'm rattled, Dal. I was meant to have an inspection this morning and I was doing my makeup and I just had like lots going on. Like I was on the phone, ran out to the building manager knocking on my door, and then by the time he left, I went back into the bathroom to continue doing my makeup and my vanity was completely open, which I wish he closed because he was taking photos. In my vanity, the only one that was open was where my big forking glitter dildo was sitting.
I'm dead. You actually showed a photo of this to me this morning and it's fucking big. I don't even, it's a biggie.
Yeah,
it's a
you
big
can't
boy.
hide that one in the photo. So if you're a property manager and works for Meriton, sorry. What about you? How's your week been?
My week's good. I've been, it's actually quite funny because I've been planning like a bit of my travel this year and I really wanted to go back to America. And, you know, I have so many friends there. I normally go every year. I actually normally go multiple times a year because I have like such a good bunch of friends over there. But, you know, I was like, I don't want to go to America. And my roommate was like, why do you not want to go to America? I'm like, my ex lives there. And he goes, you can't just avoid a whole country just because your ex is there. I was like, yes, I can. I was like, I'll be avoiding it like the plague. Like, goodbye, I'm not going there.
What are the odds, though, you actually fly into LAX and he's there?
Probably 100%. He
reckon?
would definitely fly to be where I am. He knows what clubs I go to. He knows my friends.
Fair.
Nah, like I need to avoid that at all costs.
You definitely have him on Find My iPhone then.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Whatever.
All right, do you have an INFE moment from this week?
Well, my INFE moment was stemmed from today's guest because they actually go for this team. Back in my little footy boy days.
What's footy boy days?
Remember footy boy?
Oh, yes, footy boy. Okay.
So footy boy actually plays for Parramatta or played for Parramatta Eels at the time. So we were dating.
Yeah.
We're getting it on in the bedroom. I'm underneath and he is going a million miles an hour like an Energizer bunny. Not really what I'm into, but let a man do what he's gonna do. He starts sweating, like excessively sweating. And I just look up and I see this sweat droplet coming down in slow-mo and it goes straight into my fucking eyeball. In my eyeball. Someone else's body fluid in my eyeball. Salt in my eyeball. Disgusting. Anyway, I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Maybe it was a had to be there moment, but it was fucking chat.
Well, you think about all the yeah, I guess it is kind of gross. The most gross thing I've had is someone like spitting in my mouth. Like that is disgusting. Are you into that?
I've had one person do it to me.
I've had one person and I was like, I wanted to vomit. Like it was disgusting. Like I don't want you spit in my mouth.
I don't
like
get
kissing
it.
you enough is enough. I don't get it either. I don't
it.
get like the turn on with that.
No, still don't get it.
Yeah. I'm glad you had to think about it.
What's your info moment of the week?
Okay, so I was at this thing called the Gold Dinner, which is like a charity gala, and we didn't really communicate that much with the other people that were there. But at the end, like Tones and I performed, so we were a little walk around. One of my girlfriends was talking to this guy, and I was talking to his friend, and he was like, "Do you like to party?" And I was like, "Yeah." And but I was like, well, not sure where this is going to go. He's like, well, I'm just about to order 10 bags of cocaine. And I was, don't tell my boss. And I was like, okay, this is my cue to leave. I was like, why would you randomly say that when you just meet someone?
I actually
That's too much.
I think some guys genuinely think
that's
that
cool.
Girls think it's cool. Or
no,
girls...
I did not think it was cool. I was kind of standing there like, okay, I'm going to get back to my table now. It's Tuesday.
How about like, what's your number?
Yeah.
Recommendations this week. Thought we'd go through some racks just because you say you don't have any, but you've watched Heartbreak High.
Heartbreak High. I don't know if I would actually recommend this one because
Really?
like, yeah, it was good. Like I liked it. I liked the first one a lot better. When it ended, I was kind of like, oh,
I think
is that
you
it?
had a bone to pick because in this season that's just come out, they named one of the characters Bird Psycho, and I
just thought they could have been more creative with the name of the psycho.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it could have done anything with Bird Psycho because they left a bird on the what was it? The
Don't
bag.
bloody spoil it.
Sorry.
I agree. I think
Wasn't
if they
amazing.
had used a different name for
It was really
character-
like G-rated to name it that, I feel.
Yes,
When
it
it's not a
definitely-
G-rated movie, you know, TV show.
It definitely downplayed it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I also watched Baby Reindeer, and I actually made my sister watch it with me just because a lot of people said it was really fucked up and not scary, but just twisted. And I live alone, so I was like, oh my God, I can't watch it by
Yeah, I
myself,
don't
but
think
I'm
I
super
could.
intrigued. Personally, I didn't think it was that twisted. Like, it's bad, but it wasn't like, I won't have nightmares and I won't like, I mean, I'm scared of the dark. It's not going to make me more scared of the dark.
I mean, I'm scared of like scary movie. Like,
Yeah,
and that's
no,
a funny,
it's-
and
if
that's
you
a
can-
funny movie.
If you can watch Pretty Little Liars, like the ending of Pretty Little Liars in each episode, you can watch Baby Reindeer. But
Okay.
I actually do recommend it just because it's so intriguing because the main character is actually the real life victim.
Oh,
So he plays himself.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Which is like, whilst you're watching
That's
it, you have to
intense.
keep reminding yourself that
This
he's
is
reliving
not-
trauma.
Yeah. Wow. That's really intense.
Yeah,
Well, I'll definitely
but
give it a
highly
give it a watch.
recommend.
Okay. Cool. I'll definitely give it a watch.
Why would you do that, you fucking idiot?
By the way, he's here.
I almost pissed myself.
Reuben.
Just for a lull on the scary.
No. I almost cried, you fucking idiot.
Do you want to do any other recommendations, or we could just probably leave
Bro,
it?
shut up.
I don't have anything else to say.
I have a book rec because it was about podcasters. No, sorry, I'm having a heart attack. Shut the fuck up. I need a nurse. I need a nurse. Anyway, book talk, girlies. This is not a romance one. It's called None of This Is True. I highly recommend it. My book club groups, we are called Read Between the Wines, and we give a 5-star rating out of 5 wines.
I didn't know you had this.
Yeah. And I gave this book 4.5 wines, whereas like one of my friends gave it 1 wine. I really liked it. It is kind of twisted. It's not as twisted as Baby Reindeer, but essentially it's in 2 different people's first person, and then it's also about how they create this scene into a Netflix doco. So it is really interesting, and I actually highly recommended it.
All right, I might have to give it a read.
Our next guest is very interesting. He's just been at Stagecoach,
Which is so
Slay.
sick.
Pretty cool. I've always wanted to go to Stagecoach. I've been to Coachella, but I've never been to Stagecoach.
Coach looks better, I reckon.
Way better. And we have also traveled with him essentially.
Yeah, we're in Japan with him.
And Bali
And Bali. There you go. And
as a little giveaway.
Okay, dildos aside, my name is Reuben Styles. I'm one half of Peking Duk, and I'm here to chat to the lovely ladies that have got me cornered for It's a Bit Rogue. Sorry, A Bit Rogue, not It's a Bit Rogue. And yeah, I've just been doing some fun tours around the place with my solo project, Y.O.G.A, You're Only Great Always, Y.O.G.A with the dots if you want to look it up on Spotify. And thanks for having me on, guys.
No worries. I just want to quickly say Yoso.
Yo-so, what's that?
You're only Skye once.
I like that.
Thank you.
It's a bunch of words that millennials
What?
have which can prove instantly that you're a millennial.
Oh, give it to us.
And like YOLO is one of them.
Oh, but
like
you
if you
obviously
say
know
YOLO, it's like so dated that you're like clearly a millennial. And I'm
My
like,
mum
oh,
started
okay.
saying YOLO, and I'm like, Jenny,
oh, that would kill the word for me. Mum.
relax, Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
I think I'm Gen Z. I'm 97, baby.
Yeah, fully. You guys would be big Gen Z, right?
What am I?
You're Gen X.
Gen X.
Oh shit, what's that?
I don't know.
Is that under
old.
Gen Z?
No, so
Oh, between
I'm
Gen Z.
97, she's
95.
you're 95.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to disclose your age, mate. Don't worry.
Nah, it's alright. 1990. It was crazy in the 80s. I was born in the 90s. And here are today.
So we've actually had some fun times overseas.
Bali, Japan,
We have
snow machine, dream machine.
Bump into you guys everywhere.
Everywhere.
What do you mean bump into? It's pre-planned.
Yeah,
We
pre-planned.
planned this.
We put a lot of trips
No,
together.
we got to witness you playing with Jimmy the Queen, your set at Snow Machine in Japan, and who was a groupie for you?
Diplo.
We witnessed that.
That
on
was actually the
stage.
cutest thing ever. He had his phone out, like filming you, like, this is sick.
He thought it was so cool. Like, you had the drag performers as well as Jimmy and yourself. Is that where your stagecoach journey started, do you think? He saw it, and because he was honestly frothing.
Yeah, without a doubt. It all started in the green room for the first base at the top of the mountain in Hacklebar.
Yes.
And you guys were there. I was
Yeah.
there. And in walks, can I swear?
Yeah.
And fucking in walks Diplo
Sexy daddy.
into
I think we all shit ourselves. We were like,
I know. I was like, did Skye meet him yet? And you go, what? Who? And I was like, Diplo's standing right there.
Oh, and I made such a fool of myself. Like, everyone's just like, yeah, whatever.
Acting
And
cool.
I go, hey, where's man? And I was like, oh, I hate myself.
well,
And
at least
then-
you named him by his Raya name.
Oh, wait, that says more than I would imagine otherwise. You've seen him on Rare.
Not on my device.
Well, yeah, and then I'm like, hey, where's man? Like, I don't know what I was thinking. And then I walked up and I'm like, start like talking about how yoga, like the project, You're Only Great Always. I was like, man, like you doing that song with Blanco Brown, you fully like got me on this train of making electronic country. And he was
Was
like,
he someone that you looked up to?
yeah, big
Yeah.
time. Like, because he's been doing what I literally heard his song Do-Si Do with Blanco Brown. I was like, country and electronic is cool. Because only thing that really been done before then was like Wake Me Up Avicii, which is like mega song, big, but like the Diplo song with Blanco Brown is so cool. And it was like had a harmonica on the drum. And I was like, okay, so this can be done in a really cool way, like in a schmick, sick way. Anyway, so I just went up and pretty much started drooling and I couldn't stop talking and I'd overtalk to oh God. And
He's quite quiet as well, I find.
oh God. And his silence would make me louder and it just
He
kept
was
getting-
super quiet.
He
I
is
was
quiet.
like, it made me wonder. I was like, am I meant to be fucking whispering right now? Like, I'm so nervous.
Yeah, or am I meant to be shouting because this is going to keep the thing alive right now? Oh God, awkwardly.
Or even be in the room.
I started playing him demos. Oh my God. I was like, I showed him one which I was like, oh, there's this Aussie royalty. His name's Jimmy Barnes. He's a legend. And we've fully modeled our track off your one with Blanco Brown. And I was like, can I just play it for you? And then it took like 2 minutes to load because it was in the Dropbox and it was a
and
WAV
you're
file.
like, let's go,
and I'm
let's
like,
go. Just wait.
Everyone
It's
was
gonna-
on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
it's gonna, and he's like, yeah, it's cool. Like, he was so nice.
Aw.
And he's like, it's fine. Like,
He's actually so nice.
yeah, he could tell I was like sweating and he goes, dude, it's so fine. Like, just let it load, whatever. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And I'm like, okay. And then like, finally it started playing. And then, I think he, took the action to say the, least offensive thing possible. Like, I don't know. He was just so nice. He goes, man, you should really film the video for this in the Outback. And I was like, that was like the kindest way to say, this is the end of our chat.
You thought it didn't go well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know
You're
if
just
I was
stressing.
just freaking out.
Did he catch up with you at Stagecoach?
Well, wait, but then we go later. That was the first day, and then the next day he had his set at Snow Machine, the main set on the main stage.
That was much fun.
And I was playing after him, and I was, I guess, booked to play the 30-minute warm down so that, Diplo's on, and then here's some songs while everyone leaves. And then, my DNA suggests I should, do otherwise. And instead of telling people to leave, I'm like, all right, there's only one thing to do after Diplo. And it is play the biggest songs I possibly can so everyone stays right until the end. And yeah, in the lead up, like we arrived an hour before my set, and Diplo arrived 2 seconds before his set. So we arrived at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And we get out, and I'm like, "Hey, where's man?" I'm like trying to play it so cool. Oh. And I'm like, and he straight away goes, "Who's she?" Points at one of the drag queens dressed as a cowboy, and I'm like, "Oh, you better stick around and find out." And then,
Because he's a bit of a freak.
yeah,
I heard some studies
I
when we were in
remember
Japan.
he was like one of the first, straight white male DJs on Twitter back when Twitter was like the biggest thing in the world to say, "Well, I'm definitely not gay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back then, I remember that tweet in like, I don't know, 2012 or something. It was like, everyone just was like, "Whoa, this is so sick. Diplo's the fucking best."
Yeah.
And anyway, he finishes his set. We go up, and he, as you said before, he stuck around for
frothing.
the whole
He was
set.
frothing. He was
was.
videoing you on his phone. Like that was
But even
cute as
his
fuck.
groupies were like, "Oh, he loves it. We love it."
Yeah.
Oh, it was so dope. Like, he's literally there filming the set, and he's there just like getting amongst it. And like, there's videos of him just like shouting the words, putting his hands up. And I'm like, I just couldn't believe that he was even there. Like, anyway, Steve-O afterwards, the photographer at Snow Machine and best mate of mine, he was like, "You got to hit him up about Stagecoach." And I'm like,
Go, Pat.
why would I do that? And then I tagged him in a bunch of stories, and then he replied to one of them, and he goes, "Lol, country boy." And I was like, far out. He has just turned this into a bloody text. He just bloody sent me something. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, all right, there's one thing to say. I'm like, "Put me on Stagecoach."
So you said it.
I said, "Put me on Stagecoach." And
Fucking oath.
And then he said, "Send me that Bad Blood edit." And I'm like, all right. That seems like this is going well. I sent him the link, and he sent me an email address and said it might be, fully maxed out because it's pretty soon, but just hit this email and see what they can do.
That's so slay.
And bam, it all
Holy
just...
shit.
So it pays no matter what
Shoot
to
your
ask,
shot.
what's the worst? Shoot your shot. What's the worst that can happen?
I know,
They say
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
don't see it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
100%. I always say this to everyone.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Fucking vibes.
Now you've
So
got a
sick.
little one and you're married.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard leaving them behind? Because obviously you have a lot of overseas trips, and Y.O.G.A is a semi-new project that's starting to lift off. Do you find it hard to be away from your family?
Yeah, it is so hard. And even like coming back from Stagecoach, I was only away for like 4 or 5 days. Like, literally went to Stagecoach, went straight home. And that's kind of the way to play it,
Yeah.
is like just go there purely for what you have to be there
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, don't stick around.
Don't just go on like a 3-week trip and just take the piss out of it.
Obviously, unless they're there.
Yeah, do they come?
Oh, unless they're
Yeah.
there, then we can, go
in.
Stagecoach and then, I don't know, Yosemite after or something sick.
Disneyland.
Disneyland, yes, absolutely. So we, when I got back, I said to Em, like, "You should go on a girls' trip." And she was like, "Well, there is one pending."
Perfect.
And so she went pretty much the day I landed. Went to Melbourne with the girls for 4 nights.
As she should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as she
vibes.
should.
Vibes, 100%.
And then I brought Mum with me to help look after Remy for my Darwin shows. So and I think that's the way, is like, make it work for Emma, make it work for...
Every
know,
famly's
for
different
everything.
though. Like, you could be working FIFO and you're away for long periods of times,
Yeah.
So, but I do think that dads don't get as much grace from being away from home and being away from their family as mums do. Like, mums are like, it's like, "Oh my gosh," but it's still heavy on you. You're missing your family.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, why is that? Yeah, dad's like, it's just like expected that,
They're the
it's fine.
workers.
It's normal.
Yeah.
It's not fine, and it's not normal, and it's really hard, especially when, it's hard when you get the photos and you get to FaceTime and then it gets like really emotional, but it's harder when you don't get them
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
100%.
Because they're growing so quickly, because our boys are like the same age, but like every week there's like a new word or there's a new skill. So when you are away, it just feels like, 5 days feels like bloody months.
Yeah. And Remy being like 18 months now, every day there's like 2 or 3 new words. Like
Advanced, sorry.
Wow.
or I don't know, he might be a bit older than that right now. I was never good at math. But
Yeah, he's like 19 months, close, 20,
probably
21.
Yeah.
Around that.
But yeah, it literally, so much happens every day, and every second you miss is so heartbreaking and gut wrenching. So traveling for work. Look, find a job where you don't have to travel for work. That's all I can say. But if you do have to travel, just
Make it work.
don't do it just for silliness.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point. Like,
Yeah.
if you are traveling, you don't have to stay back an extra 2-3 weeks because your
100%.
mates are staying there. If you have family at home,
Yeah,
that's how you have the
at
best
home.
of both worlds.
Yeah, 100%.
Or bring them with you.
So you've obviously had a major successful career with Peking Duk, and Y.O.G.A now is taking off like so well. Have you ever had a moment in your career that you're like, wow, I've made it? Or are you always striving to do better? Like, you know what I mean though? Like, have you had a festival moment or like a stadium moment where you're like, whoa, this is it?
Yeah, you know what? I think there was a really big moment like just a few weeks ago in the lead up to Stagecoach, because I got to road test a bunch of the edits I've been furiously in the studio making just for Stagecoach. And it was at Shoal Bay.
The country club.
Yes, the country club at Shoal Bay.
I was just there on Friday.
Oh, really?
I actually had breakfast there, but still, I saw the stage.
Yeah, it goes off at night. And there was a moment where I started, doing my thing, which is like electronic versions of country songs. And no one's really expecting it. Everyone's just used to hearing
But
the
they would have frothed
club
that.
bangers. And
That's the demo for it.
well, it's sort of, it always takes like a little bit of time, especially in like a smaller town.
Yeah.
Or like a smaller crowd. Like with Stagecoach, for example, everyone's kind of
There
not
for
just
country.
expecting it, they're hoping for it and they're wanting it. Where you kind of got to convince, regular club crowds, you got to spend some time convincing them that this is what they want, and then let them know that it's good. And
100%.
there was a moment when I was playing the Chicken Fried remix.
I love that song.
You know
I
I like
my
my chicken fried. A cold beer on a Friday night.
I'm stop
A
singing.
pair of jeans that fit just right.
Your voice sounds so much better than mine.
No, I've got no headphones. I don't know what it sounds like right
Yeah, same.
now. But for real,
Copyright issues.
Sorry.
yeah, because I am Zach Brown, and that was a sample, not a cover.
Yeah, my Shazam just went off.
Yeah, it definitely would have. And yeah, there was a moment where the whole crowd was like clapping, like during the main breakdown and singing along. And like, I did the classic, like filtered down the track so they could actually sing the words. I did not realize how many Australians know that song. Like they screamed the words to it and I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense than even I thought it did. And
You're hitting the trend right on the head. It's
And-
going huge thanks to like Morgan Wallen and even
Yeah.
Beyonce doing a random pop country track. Like personally, I don't fully agree with it, and I feel like she's just doing it to scrape up awards. However, I think that she also is helping with the trend of country for people that are city slickers. I know we live by the bloody beach, but we still technically are city slickers and we're listening to country.
yeah, 100%. And I think that's a sign of, how good the music is getting. Like there's so much amazing stuff being made in the country realm. And like, what really got me into it, and to tie back in Beyonce, I started playing in, and this is how it all sort of happened. Like I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 during lockdown. I started like dreaming in that fucking video game because it was so immersive, and you're like set in 1860s America, riding horses, going hunting, like doing crazy shit, like robbing trains and whatever. And it had the best soundtrack, and I didn't even realize while I was playing it, But then like the soundtrack, some of the songs would just stick around in my head. And a lot of the songs were by this banjo player called Rhiannon Giddens. And she's a singer as well. And Beyonce got Rhiannon Giddens to play banjo on Texas Hold'em. And so Rhiannon Giddens is like certified country queen, like, but from the South, doing like, you know, African-American country and like proper mountain music. And so Beyonce knows that, you know, that's where it all came from. And so I think it's kind of cool that she's like paying a nod to the origins of country music.
She's done her homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
done her
done her
research.
homework. She ain't messing around. Like she is gonna win every award, like without a doubt. And I guess that's where it all started for me. Was like just playing video games, and then I was like, oh, I kind of like this sound. What's going on here? And if you told me 6 years ago that I'd be like the biggest country music fan in the world, I would have said the absolute what? No way. And then it all just clicked in lockdown, and I was like, okay, this is sick. And then I started loving like the full on like Ute country, where it's like just hanging out with your mates, having a beer, picking up chicks. Like it's just so, it reminds me of simpler times.
It is simpler times.
Yeah.
I
And
love
it's
it.
like-
It's a vibe.
Take me to the rodeo.
Yeah, and it's like everyone's like learnt to, I don't know. No one's that pumped to hang out with their mates and just simply have a beer with your friends, or like doing those little things is so sick and so fun, and to be able to feel like, you know, that's awesome. Like, because people just chase more and more, and when you're with people, they're like, oh, so where are we going after this? And then
Yeah.
when we're going to go after that. And where are we going to go?
Yeah.
Huh? And it's like,
What will be better? Who's there? What's going on? Yeah.
yeah.
So
Who's going to be? Oh,
Yeah.
oh. And it's like,
Chasing more.
chasing?
I remember in New Zealand at Snow Machine, Queenstown, Adsy and I were driving past a house, and there was these like 3 Kiwi blokes out the front, and they had like drum and bass playing, and they were like sipping on a beer, and like it was so apparent that they didn't want to go anywhere else, you know? They're just on their balcony, 3 of them, listening to tunes at like 4 p.m, having a beer, and they were dancing, just like dancing to music. Like they were just, I was like, that is so, like Aussie white guys could never do that. And it's,
I just think it's not a Sydney thing, but once you go out of Sydney, like actually a
For
lot of
sure.
people are like that. Like I lived on the coast for a little bit, and like I did experience people that are happy to drink. Like even
But
my
also-
cousins
yeah.
are like, fucking hell, I thought you were going to fall back there for a second.
yeah, sorry. Oh,
You got
fucking
excited.
hell, lad. The fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, I feel like if you go to any like small town, especially the ones that don't have clubs and don't have like live performances, that's what they like doing.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see.
Can we roll it back a little bit, back into your Peking Duk days?
Yeah.
When you were like going through this super fame stage, obviously Adam, your duck partner,
Yeah.
is like
My better
wild
half.
and your better half, excluding Emmy.
Yeah. My other better half.
When he was like, you know, had lots of girls throwing themselves on him partying and stuff, because I heard you always would fall asleep early, but did you ever find it hard maintaining a long-term and very serious relationship when you were constantly in front of the partying, the girls, this and that?
It does, you know, I imagine, make your partner's mind wonder.
Yeah.
You know, like, what's going on? Like, Adam's single, he's down to mingle, and you're there with him. Like,
Needs to be a lot of trust.
what's going on there? Yeah, it takes a lot of trust. And I guess one thing which I've learnt is it's really important just to send that, you know, good night message. Like,
It is.
Just maintain, just say, after the show, just check in. And then when you're going to bed, say good night. And then, because I've, you know, been a little bit too tipsy sometimes to remember to use my phone, and gone to bed and then woken up bright and early. But that, it's like, oh, it still doesn't matter. Like,
As
I
any
just
girl
had
would
to
be,
spend
yeah,
that.
though.
Yeah, because they're like, well, what happened last night? I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
I just went to sleep. But yeah, it does take like 2
I had
seconds to
work
send
and
a
then I had
text.
sleep. Kill me. And it's
Yeah.
like, no. It makes sense. Like, it
$100%.
just gotta put in it's not
Communicate.
much effort at all, but
Yeah.
you got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
that's really
agree.
good advice for all
Yeah.
men out there,
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Especially people in music industry.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Now,
It's a tiny bit of effort,
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
Goes a long
Goes
way.
a long way.
get married, have a kid, travel the world, be a superstar.
That's all you got to do. Send a good night text.
Did you get to think of a rogue moment?
Yeah, speaking of Peking Duk, this story has not been told yet.
Fuck yeah, exclusivity. You.
And I'm sure we'll tell it a million times, but I want to tell you about the worst ever Peking Duk show. And it happened very recently.
Oh no.
And this is something we've kind of tried to bury because of how shockingly bad it is, and the ramifications that followed as well, really bad too. We had a show in LA at Venice Beach, whatever the place is there. I can't remember the name. But there's the main joint in Venice Beach where everyone plays, and we did like this last minute pop-up sort of style set. So it wasn't like, everything was on the line. But it's still a duck show, and they announced 3 days before. And, we rock up after we had we were amidst 2 sessions a day in LA, writing songs for the Peking Duk album coming. Ooh
Shut
la la.
up. New music.
Yeah.
Been a minute, doll.
It's been a minute. Debut Peking Duk album, by the way, which, oh my God, I'm so excited about. It's
That's so
insane.
exciting.
So we get to our mate's house who lives across the road from the venue, nice and early, have a few beers, and Adam's like, oh, nah, I'm not going to have any beers. And I'm like, yeah, smart. Fair enough. We've got a gig tomorrow.
He's a really
sorry.
sensible man now. He's in a relo.
He's a sensible guy, and I start having a few beers, and then I'm like, oh, you sure you don't want just one? And he goes, oh yeah, I'll have one. And that's it. We didn't have a gig the next day. We had 2 sessions the next day, and he's like, yeah, go on. All right, well, I'll have one beer. One beer turns into a few, which, we've still got a bit of time before the set, and our food comes, and we're just getting in the zone for the show. We rock up to the venue, and out the front, people come up and they're like, hey, we've driven from Santa Barbara. We've driven from someone had come up with their wife from San Diego. They were like,
3-hour drive.
we've
dog.
driven 3 hours for this, and we're driving home tonight after the set. We're just so excited to see you guys. We're like, oh, hell yeah. Well, we're so excited to play for you guys. And, there was, just before we'd even walked into the venue, met so many people that wanted to get photos with and just share their story of how freaking far they'd traveled to be there.
Pressure's on.
And pressure's on. But not in our minds. In our minds, we kill it no matter what. It's always a great set. So pressure wasn't on for some reason in our heads. We just thought we were legends and nothing could ever go wrong. And fast forward another hour and a half after we'd had enough tequilas upstairs to kill someone, and we come down to start. Benson was DJing before us. He was absolutely smoking it. He had the dance floor absolutely packed. Everyone in the venue was there just loving Benson's set. And then Adam and I jump on, and we're like, all right, guys, we've been working on some songs in the studio. We thought it was a good idea, first of all, to play unreleased demos, which is good to do. Very unmixed, very unanything. And that went great. Played 1 or 2, and we're like, all right, let's have a party. Adam then left 2 songs into the set, both songs no one had ever heard, which, nice, exclusive. The people that drove probably loved that. But then Adam puts his beer on
No.
on this this thing where the deck was sitting was I don't know. There was a ledge next to it, which was about, I don't know, 2 centimeters wide max. So he balances his beer on that, and it's just like a schooner glass, not like a can. And then somehow, or not even somehow, it was always bound to happen, the whole beer tips into the right CDJ. And
Oh my god.
the whole CDJ just fries. And, you know, most clubs that's all right because there's like 4. This club only has 2 CDJs.
No.
And so, you know, us being, you know, mid-set, we're like, oh, one of the decks is gone. It's all good. Anyone at the venue that can get us another CDJ, that'd be awesome. Someone immediately rams up and goes, we don't have any more. And we're like, there's no more. It's all good. We'll just keep playing. And we just played.
There's a way to play on one deck, isn't
Well,
there?
we
I
just-
don't know how to do it.
We'd never done it. We would just play a song. And then when the song would end, because we were so stupidly drunk, we would just talk to the crowd and talk about how lovely it is being in LA and how crazy it is that it's been raining this much. And we're like, literally would forget that there was music to play. I reckon one of our stints went for about
Podcasters.
like 6 minutes of us just taking turns talking, and there was one mic, so it would be like, oh no, me next, and I go, so really, like, who wants to hear some bangers? But first, oh my god, did you see? And like we,
Oh my god.
Like acoustic
Well-
artists when they like are talking about their new song and this is my inspiration, and everyone's like, just play the song.
oh my god, but we're not acoustic artists.
Did you?
People are used to there being 0 gap in the music, not 0 music.
Well, anyway,
God.
the people that drove got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Well,
A live
did
show.
they? While we're playing, people just started leaving.
Fuck
and we're
off.
talking. Benson had spent an hour and a half building up the best crowd in Venice Beach, and we had it dissipated within half an hour. So you'd think we'd stop. There was like 5 people left.
Oh,
We just
no.
kept playing. We didn't even notice.
You needed the backup baddie dancers.
We
Yeah.
we had no idea that people were leaving, and then Rui, our mate who is a videographer, like came to video the whole set, and he goes, "Boys, that is the worst thing." Like, because after the set, we were like, "Whoa, that really didn't go too good, did it?" And Adam's like, "Nah, did it." We went upstairs. We had like more tequila to deal with that. Rui came up and goes, "Boys, that was so bad. You have no idea." And we're like, "What do you mean?" And then he showed us the footage of us talking on the microphone to an empty dance floor.
Oh no!
And then go, all right, everyone come up the front. Everyone get right up close for this next one. And then play a song, which would be an intro beat
my
for a
God.
minute.
I have nightmares about this. Like often, like something like that will happen.
Sometimes
lose
when
my
I
nightmare.
when I do content for he's not sad. He's not sad.
It
when
was the
when
worst.
I take content for Tori and there's like not enough people in the car, she's like, "Stop it, Skye, stop!" And I'm like, "Bitch, you just asked me to film."
But I'm so embarrassed because I'm like, there's not enough people here. Like, ah.
Every single guest that we have on the podcast, we do a game.
All right.
This week on TikTok, the topic of talk has been, are you a bottom mouth speaker or a top mouth speaker? So we are going to give you some headphones, noise cancelling headphones, and you have to guess what we're saying. So I'm going to say a sentence like, the apples are green, and you have to guess what I'm saying.
Oh, there's no way I'll be able to figure this out.
You can do this, Dom. Perfect. Is that good?
Yeah.
Too
Turn
loud.
it up so I can't hear anything you say.
Can you hear me now? Are you lying? Cool. All right.
Don't actually say
Just nod. Oh my god, this is so cool. Having the Wiggles screaming in my ears. So I'm gonna just nod if I'm just gonna try say what you say.
You sound like my grandpa.
This is so cool. I've got the Wiggles techno versions in my. Oh my god.
It's new. All right. Okay.
You do it first. You do it first.
Jelly Roll has a song with Jesse Murph called Wild Ones.
I thought I was going to be guessing like 5 words. That was okay. Go again. Say it one more
Do
time.
the second one.
Jelly Roll has a song with Jesse Murph.
One more time.
Jelly Roll has a song with Jesse Murph.
Oh my god, that is so hard. What is going on?
That is so loud. Jelly Roll has a song with Jesse Murph called Wild Ones.
Oh my god.
That was a hard one.
That is hard.
All right, easier.
Okay.
I'm looking at you,
Oh my
Tori.
god. Okay. Diplo loves sex parties.
As the bowl loves to taste. Taste? Was that good?
It was Diplo loves sex parties.
Diplo loves sex parties. Oh my god, taste sex. I
Okay.
thought sex was one of the words I'm like, but I don't want to get that one wrong.
Last one.
Okay, last one. Okay, headphones. Eat a banana. Oh my god, the wiggles in my ears. This is going. Okay, I'm going.
I fucking love the Parramatta Eels.
Okay, I fucking love
I fucking love the Parramatta Eels.
the bananas. What was it?
I fucking love the Parramatta Eels!
Ah, the fucking Parramatta Eels. Well, I fucking love the Parramatta
God.
Eels.
You're done.
Oh.
If in case-
Do you like it?
Just so you can hear what's...
Lenny Pierce just...
That was what was in my fucking ears just then.
Oh, I'm dead.
That's the Wiggles and Lenny Pierce.
All right, we should.
Perfect.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having
We've
me.
loved having you on.
And we
Oh,
always
you
love seeing
legends.
you out. You're so
Yeah.
much bloody fun.
I love
Such
seeing
vibe.
you guys. It brings the life to the party.
Hopefully-
When's the next yoga show?
Oh, when's the next snow machine that we're all playing at?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the next
We
time.
need to organise that. Mars, hook it up.
Are you doing Queenstown?
No, I'm not.
Come on.
Duck's doing
Yeah.
Queenstown.
Rude.
Just come party.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should just go. Thanks for listening to A Bit Rogue, where we uncover the stories of athletes, artists, and celebrities with their most rogue moments. Episodes dropping every Wednesday.